Right, there's a lot of nonsense in wine, isn't there? I can admit that. I think we can all admit that. Lots of myths. And people are still falling for it. Are you one of those people? Doesn't matter if you are, I'm not judging. Let's go through some of them now and see if we can debunk these myths. Myth 1. Deep punt means a better wine. Right? Yeah, of course it does. What do I mean by punt? Well, this is the punt in the bottle. The bit that goes up. People thought the deeper the indent, the higher the quality. Well, the truth, it's just a glass. Just the vessel it's held in. It's all because glass used to be hand blown and made, and that was a weakness. So it's the strength, because sparkling bottles, they hold high pressure, about 5 to 6 atmosphere in pressure, especially champagne. So the punt helps distribute that pressure and makes the bottle less likely to basically explode like a happy hand grenade. So that's why they did it, because they were hand blown instead of being machine made. Now, a lot of other producers do it because they appreciate that when people think it's a sign of quality, well, you might as well use it to sell your products, so they continue. I mean, look at that one. That's ridiculous. I mean, you see if you can tell how deep it's there. Sorry, do that. Get rude. So yeah, lots of other people do it now because they're riding on the wave that basically the heavy glass and the big punt is a sign of quality. But unfortunately, it was just there for structural, and it did aid in sediment being able to get chopped down the side when you're pouring it a little bit, and also pouring the wine itself. It does help for sommeliers. So that's that one. Let's go on to the next. Myth 2. God blimey, look at the legs on that. Basically, the myth was the more legs dripping down the side of your glass, the better quality of the wine. Truth, sorry, it's all about science. Legs are basically caused by alcohol and evaporation, the Marangoni effect. So basically, the higher alcohol, the more visible the legs. It's nothing to do with flavour, balance or quality. It's a nice indication of what the ABV is going to be, but that's about it. So legs tell you about alcohol and not the wine. But if your dad sat there going about somebody's legs like that, just let him. It's not hurting anybody, is it? Myth 3. If there's bits in the bottle, something has gone wrong. Right? Sediment means the wine's off or it's faulty. Sorry, couldn't be further from the truth. Sediment in wine is completely natural, especially in aged wines, unfiltered wines, low intervention wines. You're going to see it a lot more. It's basically, a lot of it's tannins, colour compounds settling out, anthocyanins, I can't say that. Basically, there's lots of reasons why you get sediment, but a lot of it is just, it's completely natural process of the wine developing. Sediment actually often means basically the wine's been treated less intervention and can be higher quality. Just sieve it through your teeth. It's a great way to do it. But honestly, it's fine in your glass. It doesn't mean anything's wrong with the wine. It's just can be tartrate crystals, or like I say, sometimes dead G cells, or a lot of the time it's just the tannins that congeal together and settle as the wine ages. Nothing to worry about. Yeah. Myth 4. Screw cap. That's a cheap wine. Nope. Maybe a long time ago. It's not true now. Some of the best wines in the world can be screw cap. Why use a screw cap? Screw caps basically, they prevent cork taint, TCA, okay? It's basically 2,4,6 trihydroxyanisole. TCA, stick with TCA. Basically, it affects around 2 to 5% of wines. Quite a lot, really. Basically, screw caps remove this risk completely. But it doesn't mean the wine is lesser quality. Basically, this is how much we look into it. There's actually 2 types of screw caps, okay? Sour tin liner, almost airtight, nothing gets in. Keeps wine really fresh, good for young wines, expensive wines. Then there's sour necks liner, which allows tiny amounts of oxygen in, and it mimics basically the cork, which is doing that same thing. Allows subtle aging. So winemakers now actually choosing, especially in New Zealand, where this particular wine's from, their screw caps are becoming phenomenally advanced. So New Zealand, Australia, you're going to see a lot of corks, high-end producers, and they are, so a lot of screw caps, and they are really happy with them, and they can age them. So, takeaway, if you like a cork and you like to pop it, it's great, it's a nice thing to do. There is something about it, but it doesn't guarantee the quality at all. Just be aware. Myth 5. You have to decant red wine, don't you? No, not all red wine needs decanting, not at all. Basically, it's a big myth. All red wine should be decanted before drinking, and it makes any red wine better. Basically, the truth, decanting does two things. It adds oxygen. It removes sediment. So when you pour in, the sediment stays at the bottom. You get this last year thinking, oh, why is it so hard to pour? Well, it's designed like that to hold the sediment in the bottom. But older wines can fall apart really quickly, and lighter reds don't need it at all. So basically, older wines, they can get a lot worse if you decant them. I know, complicated, right? Because old wines like oxygen. Well, it's basically because they're much more fragile. A bit like old people. We get older, get more fragile. What's actually going on? Well, the wine's already evolved a lot in the bottle. Little bits of oxygen coming in over time, so tannins have softened. The fruit has faded, flavours become more delicate, earthy, savoury and subtle, which is what people like about aged wines. So it's basically at its peak or just past it. Then oxygen suddenly hits it really fast, and when you decant it and exposes it all, and it just loses all that, and it can quickly become, well, I kind of think it was unstable, so to have a better word. If you do it to a young wine, you'll lose that freshness. For old wine, it can take the edge off it, especially if it's been aged a long time and you're not sure if it's ready to go yet. The best wines to decant, in my personal opinion, things that are really quite uptight and when they're young as well. So like a Chateauneuf de Pape, that's not being aged, something like that. Or a lot of the Rhone blends, I like to decant. I think it softens them because basically it just breaks down them tannins and everything's a bit tight and it still needs aging. When it's aged in the bottle, you're going to need to do all this. So basically do decant, experiment, but don't use it as a one rule for everything because, well, it's just not. It's the world of wine. There's no one rule for everything. I can assure you that. So basically, well, wine's full of little myths like this, and most of them don't actually help you pick a bottle, or certainly not a better bottle. So we'll keep trying to help debunk these. If you want to follow along, keep breaking down things like this and try and point you in the right direction for just picking a wine that you'll enjoy without all the BS that comes along with it. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this. That's 5 myths debunked. Get out there and enjoy some wine. Bye-bye.